Star Trek: Strange New Worlds just remade one of Star Trek: The Next Generation's most celebrated episodes, with a Gorn twist. After taking a backseat to Strange New Worlds' other main characters, Lieutenant Erica Ortegas, Melissa Nevia, finally gets the spotlight in a survival story that forces her to face one of her greatest fears. In Star Trek: Strange New Worlds Season 3, Episode 9, Terrarium, Lieutenant Ortegas heads out for a solo mission to explore a strange area of space. When a mysterious wormhole suddenly appears, Ortegas' shuttle gets pulled in and crash lands on a rocky moon orbiting a gas giant. As Erica puts her considerable survival skills to good use, she soon discovers that she's not alone. Directed by Andrew Kautz and written by Alan B. McElroy, Terrarium tells a classic Star Trek story that draws inspiration from Star Trek: The Original Series and Star Trek: The Next Generation. Considering the involvement of the Gorn and the Metrons, the iconic TOS episode, Arena, may be the most obvious comparison, but Terrarium also has a lot in common with TNG's Darmok. How Star Trek: Strange New Worlds Season 3 Episode 9 remade a classic Captain Picard episode. Uhura, Ortegas, and Spock in Star Trek: Strange New Worlds Terrarium. Terrarium spends much of its runtime following Lieutenant Ortegas, putting her ingenuity and quick thinking on full display as she builds a water dispenser and sets out in search of food. Before long, Ortegas encounters the moon's only other intelligent occupant, a Gorn pilot, Warren Scherer, whose escape pod crashed. Ortegas immediately goes on the defensive, but later forms a truce with the female Gorn, as they work together to find a way off the moon. This story unfolds much like Star Trek: The Next Generation's Darmok, in which Captain Jean-Luc Picard, Patrick Stewart, is stranded on an alien planet alongside Captain Dathon, Paul Winfield, a member of the Tamarian species. As the Tamarians communicate in metaphors only they can understand, Picard and Dathon initially struggle to understand one another. Although Picard doesn't view Dathon as an enemy, he doesn't know what to expect from the Tamarian captain. Erica, too, struggles to understand her new Gorn friend, until she rigs up a makeshift universal translator that translates yes or no answers. Like Picard and Dathon, Ortegas and the Gorn find ways to communicate and work together to fight off the predators that inhabit their respective planets. In the end, both Darmok and Terrarium come to similar bittersweet conclusions, as well. In Darmok, a predator mortally wounds Dathon when the Enterprise D crew tries to beam Picard back to the ship. Although Dathon soon succumbs to his injuries, Picard has learned enough to establish communication with the Tamarians. Terrarium also ends with the tragic death of the Gorn. When Lieutenant Lawan Nunyan Singh, Christina Chong, and her landing party arrive to rescue Lieutenant Ortegas, they kill the Gorn before Erica can stop them. Which is better, Strange New Worlds, Terrarium, or TNG's Darmok? Jean-Luc Picard and Dathon on Star Trek. Ultimately, Star Trek: The Next Generation's Darmok is a better episode of Star Trek, but Terrarium certainly isn't a bad outing. It's a great showcase for Melissa Nevia's Lieutenant Ortegas, and it delivers its classic story well. Darmok has the advantage of telling the story first and boasts an incredible performance from Patrick Stewart as Captain Picard. Darmok has long been considered one of Star Trek's best episodes, making it difficult to live up to. In addition to strong performances from its stars, Darmok works as well as it does due to its simplicity and a message that exemplifies Star Trek's ideals. Terrarium adds technobabble problems and a ticking clock to raise the stakes, but the episode didn't necessarily need all of that to deliver a solid story. Still, Terrarium takes some of the best elements from Darmok and other classic Trek episodes to deliver a compelling story about enemies working together that shows the Gorn in a new light. Terrarium borrows from other classic Star Trek stories. Star Trek TNG: The Enemy, Geordi La Forge, Bakra, Romulan Cave. While Star Trek: Strange New Worlds clearly took inspiration from Star Trek: The Next Generation's Darmok 4. Terrarium. The episode also incorporates elements from other Star Trek stories. For one thing, Terrarium directly connects to the first episode in which the Gorn ever appeared, Star Trek, the original series Season 1, Episode 18. Arena. In Arena, the highly advanced Metron strand Captain James T. Kirk, William Shatner, and a Gorn captain on a barren planet, where they battle it out in a physical contest. Kirk eventually emerges as the victor, but he spares the Gorn's life, impressing the observing Metrons. A Metron, Dariush Sahe, pops up briefly in Terrarium 2, appearing before Lieutenant Ortegas to inform her they orchestrated her situation. Thanks for watching.